Welcome back to Retro Gamer Gen X's Retro Gaming and Computing channel, and in today's video, we're going to be checking this out right here. This is the Sega SAROO card. Basically what this is a flash cart for your Sega Saturn, so instead of playing the disc-based games, you can actually pop this cartridge into the memory cartridge port in the back of the Sega Saturn and play a ton of games on this. Now this did come with about 500 games already preloaded on it. Most of them were Japanese though, so what I did was take those off and back those up, and then I put my own American games, all American games on there. I know some of you are probably like, oh, I can't believe you did that, but I will be putting some of the good Japanese games on as well. But for right now, it's all American games. But what we're going to do today, I'm just going to kind of show you how the SAROO cart actually works. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out the SAROO card. So here's how the package actually comes in the mail to you. And it's actually some decent packaging, I'm not going to lie, but you know, you'd flip it over here and it shows you all the different products that they sell. There's like the action replay and other things that you can get on here, but obviously we got the SAROO cart. So let's flip this thing over and open it up. And like I said, it's got decent packaging. You know, it's got the foam insert and all that good stuff. But this here, guys, is the elite version of the SAROO cart. And what that means is it has all new chips in it, no reconditioned chips. Whereas the normal version, which is usually in the black case, has reconditioned chips in it. So just so you guys know the differences there. I'll take this thing out. And yeah, I mean, build quality seems really decent. I mean, it's not flimsy or anything. And then mine came with this 256 gig SD card here, which essentially fit the whole US library, and then you still have a ton of room to be able to put like Japanese games on. So can't beat that. Well, let me go ahead and get this thing taken apart here, and we'll see if the build quality inside is good. Alright, so just two screws holding this thing together and not much else. Let me get these out here. There we go. And yeah, it looks like there's a label up top, so I'm probably going to have to kind of peel the label back a little bit. I should be able to hopefully get it. Well, let me take the SD card out. I should be able to get this label off by just separating them, and hopefully it'll peel off, which it did. Perfect. So both halves. Now we'll take out the circuit board here. And this is what I'm mainly concerned with, is actually the circuit board. I want to see these chips and see what the build quality is and see if these are newer chips and not used ones. So let me zoom on in here. There we go. I already see we got a Samsung chip, so that's nice to see that we have real chips. I believe that's the RAM chip. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is. But yeah, all the solder joints look good, even on like the caps and everything. And there's the Cyclone, which does all the magic on this thing basically. And then that says ARM on it. Is that like an ARM processor or something? I'm not too sure what's in this thing, guys. But yeah, all the solder joints look good. But we should probably give them a little test and give them the solid test to see how good they really are. I always like to do this with these flash carts and other things that I get for my game systems, just to see if they're going to short out or whatever the hell else, because you never know. And yeah, looks solid. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy on these, but yeah, looks pretty good. I'm not going to complain. Let me go to the Samsung chip here and just give it a little poke. And yep, solid. And solid. So yeah, I'm going to say build quality looks pretty decent on this thing, guys. Now, mind you, it depends on who actually builds them, because this is kind of an open project and anybody can build these things. So keep that in mind, who you buy these from. Well, with that being said, let's go ahead and get this into the computer, or the SD card in the computer, and show you the file structure. Alright guys, so here is what the file structure looks like on the SD card. So we have the SAROO folder here, which is all in caps. And mind you, you got to keep this exact file structure or else it's not going to work. Within there, you got the bin and the queue, or the bin and ISO, bin and ISO files. And in the ISO file here is where you're going to go ahead and put all your games. Now with the games, you're going to want to put your bin and queue files for your games all in one folder, like see this 3D baseball, and they have to be the exact same name. So this is 3D Baseball USA folder. The file is named 3D Baseball USA, and then of course it has its individual track numbers and then the queue file as well. But really, that's about it, guys. I mean, you just drop these into this ISO folder here, and there you go. Now, the one complaint that I did have is that the Sega Saturn doesn't alphabetize these. So if you just put random games in here, they show up in the order that you basically put them on the SD card on the menu on the Sega Saturn. So to prevent that from happening, go ahead and just drop all your games into a folder first, alphabetize those games within that folder, copy them, like this, and then go ahead and paste them into the actual ISO folder. And that way, when they show up on the Sega Saturn, they'll be in alphabetical order. But really, guys, that's about it for the SD card. I would suggest, backing everything up once you get one of these. But other than that, that's about it. So let's go ahead and test this thing out on the Sega Saturn. All right, let's go ahead and fire up the old Saturn here. And as you can see, it boots pretty much like normal until right here. I think that's pretty cool. But here's the boot menu here, so you can select a game from what's on the SD card. You can go to the system CD player and play CDs if you'd like. You can go to basically load a burned game right here, so it allows you to play burned games as well. And then these couple other things, I'm not quite sure what they do. Like I said, there's some learning I still have to do on this card, but I wanted to kind of show you guys the basics. So let's go ahead and select a game. And then here, you can use your shoulder buttons to basically go up and down a page. Or you can use your D-pad to go up and down within the page. And then if you press side to side on the D-pad, you can either put that up front or in the back, as you guys can see. So let's go ahead and just load up a game. Let's see. What's like one of the most popular games is probably what? Daytona USA. So let's go ahead and load that up here and show you how fast the booting times are. I mean, it's pretty damn quick. And as you guys can see, there we go. So pretty cool. I dig it. But let's go ahead and start it. I'll just kind of show you how it works.
Please select a race course. Please choose manual or automatic transmission.
Pick all the easiest stuff here, because But yeah, as you guys can see, it runs pretty much flawlessly. Now, there are some games that aren't 100% compatible with this thing, so keep that in mind as well. And where am I going? I can stay on the track here. But there is a compatibility list, and I'll go ahead and put that below in the description as well for you guys. Just a link to the compatibility list. And I'll show you, we'll boot up another game here, and I'll kind of show you what happens when they're not compatible. The system does freeze, and you basically have to reboot the system to be able to get everything back up and running again. Ah, shit. But yeah, let's go ahead and try another game here. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and boot up Shell Shock here. And this game is kind of cool. If you're like into those tank games, kind of like Battlezone or whatnot, you would dig this game. But I know this game definitely has some issues as far as it freezing up. So we'll give it a shot here. When it first boots, it seems like it's going to boot just normally, but... And it froze.
Mostly of Vatska 1994.
Nope.
A special forces unit
Kinda
protecting
is
a
working.
civilian convoy comes under heavy artillery fire.
So, yeah, guys, it's not 100%. Now, you can play this game, which is good, if you just skip through the cutscenes and things like that, but kind of takes away from the game. But there are some games on here that you just absolutely cannot play. It just basically loads to a blank screen. But there's a compatibility list, and I'll go ahead and post that down in the description. So a couple other things that I want to show you guys. You might have questions. Can you go ahead and play basically a regular Sega Saturn game with this still plugged in? Yes, you can. I'll go ahead and show you that. And can you play burn games? Yes, you can, and I'll show you that as well. All right, and as you guys can see, we got Astrial inside of the CD player, a legit Sega Saturn CD. Now it'll still boot into the SAROO cart, as you guys see here, but you're gonna go ahead and just pick Load Game Disc, and as you can see, I can hear the disk drive making a bunch of noise in the background. God, those old school days. I don't have to deal with that no more, guys. Don't have to kill my laser to play games anymore. It's freaking amazing. But as you guys can see, I'm just going to skip ahead here. Astrial has loaded, so definitely really cool. But I can tell you now, the load times on this are a lot longer on the CD than it is on that SD card. There is no doubt about that. But this game is just visually stunning. I don't know if you guys have actually seen this game before, but I mean, just look at the graphics. They are just amazing. I remember the first time I played this is actually a game I used to have on my Saturn back in the 90s. The first time I played this, I was like, yeah, it's like a kid's game, but I actually got into it just because of the graphics were just so freaking cool, man. Probably one of the best 2D graphical games that I can even think of. Just amazing. Alright guys, well let's go ahead and try booting up a bootleg CD or a burn CD and see how that works, because it's basically the same process, but I just wanted to kind of show you guys that that does work as well. Alright guys, so we got Shinobi Legions in here. As you guys saw, put it into the drive, and as we all can see, it's booting into the SAROO cart again. So we're just going to go ahead and pick that load game disc. And just as with a regular game disc, it loads these burnt discs as well. So pretty damn cool, guys. No longer need a mod chip to be able to do this. Plus you can play everything off an SD card where you don't have to use your laser. Just amazing. So I really love this product, and I would suggest getting it if you do have a Sega Saturn, because there's a lot of homebrew games, there's a lot of like Japanese games that are really hard to get that are pretty amazing on the system. Now another question you guys might have, like the multi-disc games, how do those work? Well, basically when it asks you to switch your disc, you just reset the system, and then you go into the menu again and select whatever disc it's asking for. So like if it's asking for disc 2, then you put in disc 2, or disc 3, whichever disc it's actually asking for. And let me go ahead and show you how that works. I did a live stream not too long ago that I actually had to change the disc for the first time. I'd never done it before, so it was kind of cool to see this work during a live stream. So let's go ahead and check that out here. Please insert disc 2. Okay, this is when the fun begins. So we're going to see what actually happens here, because I haven't tried this on the SAROO, whatever the hell this thing's called, SAROO cart. Yeah. So how do you swap discs? Well, I've actually looked this up. You got to turn the system off, turn it back on, and then hopefully it will actually swap over to the other disc. Well, let's see. Let's see if it actually works. If it doesn't, it might be a short stream tonight. Or we might play some other games as well. We'll see. But let's see here. Select game. And then go to disc 2. Let's see if it works. I don't know. And it does! Look at that. Holy shit. Well, that brings us to the end of the video here, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and saw some of the cool things about this flash cart. It's kind of amazing that the Sega Saturn does have a flash cartridge for it nowadays. Now, I did used to have a old like mod chip inside that I actually took out of that to be able to, well, I guess you probably could have used this with the mod chip in it, but I did go ahead and take that out and just am using the SAROO cart now. So pretty cool device. If you're into the Sega Saturn, definitely something that you might want to get if you know you're into that kind of thing, if you want to play all these games. If you're a huge collector of the games, I mean, I have a few Sega Saturn games, probably about 150 of them or so. But I don't have them in the jewel cases. I just have them loose inside one of those old CD cases. That's kind of the way I buy them, because you can buy them real cheap that way. If you buy them complete in box, man, those Sega Saturn games can get pretty pricey. And really, for the cost of what one of those Sega Saturn games cost, I got this for 79 bucks. You could get all the games in one cartridge. So really up to you what you guys want to do, but I figured I'd show you guys this really cool device. And I wanted to thank all my viewers and all my subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed and you like the content, don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell. That way you get notifications every time I drop new content like this. Also, if you want to help support the channel, go ahead and hit that super down below, or consider becoming a member of the channel. Any kind of support we get goes right back into the channel to make videos just like the one you're watching today. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a great one. Peace out, y'all.
Game over, man. It's game over.